Hey guys, welcome back to Tales from this side. I'm Grey Wolf, and we're gonna keep on building. We're still at the beginning, and welcome to episode 2. This is where we're gonna begin the house building for our beginner home, so that we can have this beautiful, beautiful terrain out here looking like we want. So as we get started, I've already done some of the farming, some of the basic stuff. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start placing blocks. Now, I don't really have a plan. It's not like I did this in creative or anything like that. So ultimately, I'm just kind of going by what feels right, and I want to make sure that I'm gonna keep adding different sections to the building. I don't want a square. Different levels in height, different levels in many of the different things, size. So that's a big part of it, is to make sure that the size of the different squares, or maybe if we start a circle, which I don't think we're going to do this time. It's just a beginner home, so we kind of want to just get something that's comfortably large enough to place most of the things we're going to need in the beginning of this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and keep focused on this. I'm going to sleep real quick, hopefully, and that grew. Let's cut that down and then we can go to sleep. But what you try to focus on is kind of an outline, and the way I imagine it is that all of the wall blocks will be one block inward, and I'm just kind of making it in my head how I want to see it. So next morning here, let's get started. Got to take down some of these leaves because they'll be in the way of us coming across there, so might as well get rid of them. Maybe we can get another sapling out of it, because we did only grab one. Let's see. Maybe one. So please, one sapling. That would be fantastic. And yeah, There's no saplings. So we're gonna have to go get another sapling for that, so that we can bring it up here, because this biome doesn't naturally spawn. Birch wood. A lot of people don't like it. I'm okay with working with birch. I think it's great. So as you can see here, we've got a good start around the back side. I've got a little outset there, which I think we're going to make into a room or a bedroom anyway. We're going to add a back door, and this is roughly the spot. We're going to try to make it even with the other side there. Symmetrical, asymmetrical. It's a good way to go. So with the limited beginning blocks that we have, we're going to do what we can. However, down there's the birch, and then I believe the other side we still have the oak and birch. We'll see how this oak goes, if we can get another sapling from it. So need a couple more materials. So why don't we go into a time lapse of grabbing some materials, and we'll see when we get back. Hey guys, and welcome back. So as you can see, we kind of went a little further. We're getting ready to start on building up our pillars here so that we have an idea of how high the first floor is going to be. I think we want about 4 blocks up. And we're just going to go around and we're going to keep adding this. We'll add 3 blocks to the single block on the bottom, which will give us 4 blocks on every pillar. Adding different height differentiations, or different height dimensions, I apologize. That doesn't necessarily have to be done in the walls themselves. It can be done in many different places, maybe different roof designs, those types of things. With the grass around, I really like the spruce, so the way that the grass is kind of grayed out or looking a little bit duller, I find that very beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Viking style terrains, so I tend to lean more heavily on the spruce in these builds. Unfortunately, what we've got on our hands is plenty of spruce because we cleared this area, so that's looking really beautiful. I think that'll do well for our starter house. So what we're going to do is we're going to get everything taken care of. We'll put it all together. Unfortunately, like I said before, we got mostly spruce, and there's a tall fern. Let me move a little closer so we can get out of the face. So we got the doggo in the background, and with that being said, I just think that this is a wonderful beginning. We'll start, and it's kind of like a Zen garden to me. So with it being kind of like a Zen garden, it's kind of nice that we can tear down portions and then rebuild. And as we get more and more materials, we'll start adding more and more like variation to the walls, variation to the flooring, making it a bit nicer so that it's more attractive to the eyes. What we're going to do is I'm going to cut away here in a second. We're going to need to make sure that we, smelt the charcoal that we saw back there, and then we will get into tearing apart the floor. And this should be done smelting. We've moved it over. I think that now is about that time to start with the flooring, and as you can see, we've readjusted everything that you see in the house so that it actually fits in its place. And once we get on the floor, I'll cut away. I'll come back when the floor is completed. As I said, this is not necessarily a survival guide version, and nor is it a tutorial. We're just going to kind of cruise through it, and then when we're done, we'll build a lore with it. So we'll see you when we get back. Okay, so we do have the floor in. I'm getting ready to immediately start on I want a fireplace. I figured it's a cold biome. You're going to want a fireplace or a colder biome. To keep the house warm. I like adding fireplaces. It gives a sense of motion to what would be ultimately a giant pixelated house. I think that is wonderful. And okay, hang on. Oh, water. Okay, wait. Oh no. So yeah, that happened. We'll pick up our stuff. I guess we'll have to quickly turn around and fix what we've destroyed. Spilled milk only rots if you leave it there, so let's clean it up. Alright, so we've cleaned up our mess that we created. Let's try not to do that again. Mistakes are made every day. That's a thing. So let's start on our walls. What we're going to do is we're just going to build them up around. I have an idea of where I want to see some of the windows, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'll do is I'll step back, I'll take a look at it when I'm finished with what would be technically the wall construction portion, and then I'll cut out the walls that I want to see. Later on, as I said before, we're going to add different materials into the walls so that they are there's more of a variety and it feels like there's more texturing to it. I think that would look absolutely gorgeous. We can definitely add in oak and We can add in some wonderful birch. I know a lot of people hate the birch because of how yellow it is, but to be honest, as it's a white yellow or a very light yellow, kind of like a, I don't know, I think of it as a, I'm just gonna go with a bright yellow. That just sounds like a better way to go with it, due to having a lack of more words in my vocabulary. But to be honest, you know, we're gonna finish this portion of the walls up, and we're gonna get into building the chimney next. With that being said, with the birch has a great spot for me, because as you can see on the floor there, that's birch, and it does give wonderful highlights. You just have to kind of know a little bit about construction, and in the real world, usually your walls are a lighter color, your floors are a bit of a medium or a darker color, and then countertops kind of mimic the flooring, so it's going to go with a darker color usually, and that allows what we would see as aesthetically pleasing, because they're polar opposites. So everything has its place, and just like every human, we all have our own purpose. We just have to figure it out. Let's get to building on this chimney here. I think that's a better place to go. So we smelted some of the cobblestone to turn it into regular stone. We've been trying to do some renewable charcoal with some of the spruce that we have grown up. I did a 2x2 out back of the house. I really like putting, I think where we chose the location for this house is absolutely wonderful, because of the fact that we're pretty much in the middle of everything. We need ice, it's there. We need oak, we need birch. There's a nice little village down there, which is actually a little larger than I anticipated. I didn't even think we'd find one so quickly. And then I think once we are finished with this house, we can actually start leaning in on maybe a little bit of the lore. We'll talk about it as we are building. This episode, or this house, is large enough that we're probably gonna have to split it up into 2 episodes, and that's all right. What I'm planning on doing is I'll build the entire house and I'll split it up as far as episodes go, so that you guys get 1 episode and then the next episode will come out. I really like this. I think there's a little more we can add to it. It just seems so open, and I tend to catch myself on fire if you haven't noticed, so we don't want to do that. I think what we can do is we can change it up a little bit by adding some dark oak trapdoors. The trapdoors are a little, like, yes, and I apologize, not dark oak, spruce trapdoors, but they are a little bit darker than the spruce planks, but not as dark as the spruce logs that are not debarked, if you will. I really like that. So what we'll do is we'll step back and take a look at this without this piece here, because we just use this one as a placeholder or a temporary block. We're gonna pull back and let's take a look and see what we got. Yeah, it feels kind of missing something. Let's add another one and see what it does. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, so I really like that. I really think that we're gonna stop here because we're on the lower half and it's about finished as far as the lower half goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you for coming and watching. Please like and subscribe, and as usual, if you love me, you hate me, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you again next time on Tales from This Side. Bye.